$1 billion system destroyed. Iran's ballistic strike erased a THAAD battery in seconds. One missile.
0517 hours. Northern Persian Gulf. The sea is flat, almost perfectly calm, the kind of stillness that hides movement beneath the surface of routine. A faint orange glow begins forming along the eastern horizon as the sun prepares to rise over the Gulf. Oil tankers drift slowly through commercial shipping lanes south of the Strait of Hormuz, their navigation lights reflecting across the quiet water like small floating stars. From the outside, the region looks peaceful. Another normal morning in one of the busiest shipping corridors on Earth. But inside the Combat Information Center of the American destroyer USS Farragut, the lighting is dim and red, the glow of radar screens illuminating rows of silent operators watching the ocean through electronic eyes. Merchant vessels appear as green symbols drifting calmly across the tactical display. Cargo ships, tankers, fishing boats. Everything looks routine. Then a sharp tone breaks the quiet rhythm of the room. A radar operator leans forward, studying a new contact appearing on the screen. New contact, bearing 092. The numbers appear quietly beside it. Range 28 nautical miles. Speed 30 knots. Too fast for commercial shipping. No one raises their voice. No one panics. But heads turn toward the display, because something is moving quickly toward the carrier strike group, and it is not slowing down. 0520 hours. The contact continues advancing at the same speed, cutting directly through civilian traffic patterns like it belongs there. 30 knots. Low radar profile. Minimal electronic emissions. The tactical officer studies the signature carefully before asking the obvious question. Classification. A few seconds pass while algorithms and operator analysis combine into a single answer. Possible fast attack craft. Iranian origin likely. Outside, the aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt continues routine flight operations. Deck crews move aircraft into launch positions. Jet engines warm slowly in the cold morning air. To anyone watching from the outside, the fleet looks calm and controlled. But inside the combat network connecting every ship in the formation, the math of distance is already beginning to tighten. 26 miles. Then 24. Every mile closer changes the equation. 0523 hours. A second alert appears across the tactical screen. This one is different. A radar track forms rapidly over the Iranian mainland. Altitude increasing. Velocity accelerating. Someone inside the CIC says it quietly, almost clinically. Ballistic launch. The room becomes very still. Numbers scroll rapidly across the radar display as computers calculate trajectory. Mach 7. Altitude climbing through the upper atmosphere. Impact projection begins forming. The path stretches across the screen like a glowing arrow aimed directly at the center of the carrier strike group. Estimated time to impact, 7 minutes. The message spreads instantly through the Naval Command network. Ballistic missile inbound. 0524 hours. The fleet shifts posture without visible drama. Orders move silently through encrypted communication systems. Defensive protocols activate across every ship, but the first layer of defense will not come from the fleet itself. It will come from land. Along the Gulf Coast sits one of the most advanced missile defense systems in the world. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, THAAD, a system designed to destroy ballistic missiles while they are still high above the Earth, before they can descend toward ships or cities. If THAAD works, the threat ends in seconds. If it fails, the responsibility shifts entirely to the fleet. 0526 hours. At the THAAD launch site in eastern Saudi Arabia, radar operators watch the same ballistic track forming across their displays. The incoming missile climbs through thin atmosphere, its speed increasing with every second. The fire control officer studies the engagement window appearing across the screen. Time to intercept, 112 seconds. Around him, technicians move calmly through a series of practiced procedures. Launch tubes rotate toward the sky. Targeting data updates continuously. This is what the system was designed for. Ballistic missile defense with surgical precision. 0527 hours. Hundreds of miles away, inside an Iranian missile command complex, officers watch telemetry flowing across their screens. Their missile continues climbing through the upper atmosphere exactly as planned. Velocity stable. Navigation correct. But the missile was never intended to strike the carrier directly. Its purpose is different. Its purpose is calculation. A test of American missile defense. 0528 hours. Inside the THAAD command shelter, the intercept window opens. 2 interceptors ready. The fire control officer gives the command calmly. Launch. Outside, the desert erupts in white flame as the first interceptor rocket tears into the sky. Seconds later a second interceptor follows, both climbing rapidly toward the incoming threat. On radar screens inside the command center, the three objects begin converging at unimaginable speed. The system predicts success, but suddenly the Iranian missile behaves differently. 0529 hours. The target splits. 3 radar returns appear where there was once 1. Decoys. Lightweight penetration aids designed specifically to confuse interception systems. Inside the THAAD command shelter, algorithms recalculate instantly. 3 targets. 2 interceptors. Probability of kill drops. 0529:42. The first interceptor closes rapidly. Distance 4 kilometers. 3 radar signatures remain. The system selects 1. The collision occurs in a flash of kinetic energy high above the Earth, but debris patterns reveal the truth almost immediately. The interceptor destroyed a decoy. 0530 hours. The real warhead continues descending. Altitude dropping. Speed increasing. The second interceptor adjusts its course. Guidance thrusters fire rapidly along the missile body as it attempts to lock onto the correct target. Distance 8 kilometers. But suddenly electronic interference floods the radar spectrum. For 2 seconds the tracking signal becomes unstable. When the radar stabilizes again, the interceptor has drifted slightly off trajectory. It detonates harmlessly in the upper atmosphere. The real missile continues falling. 0531 hours. Inside the Carrier Strike Group Command Center, the information spreads quickly. THAAD missed. No one reacts dramatically. No shouting. No panic. But everyone in the room understands what that means. The defensive shield has failed. 0532 hours. The missile slams into the desert, directly into the THAAD battery itself. The explosion produces a blinding white flash followed by a rising column of dust and debris. Radar arrays collapse. Launchers overturn. In seconds, the entire missile defense site disappears beneath smoke and fire. The system designed to stop ballistic missiles has just been destroyed by 0534 hours. Satellite feeds confirm the damage. The THAAD battery is offline, completely destroyed. Inside Iranian command headquarters, officers watch the same satellite images. Their test succeeded. The outer defensive layer protecting the fleet is gone. 0536 hours. New radar alerts appear across American naval displays. 3 more ballistic missiles launch from the Iranian coastline, climbing rapidly into the sky. This time the targets are clear. The Carrier Strike Group itself. 0538 hours. Without THAAD, the fleet must rely on ship-based defenses alone. Aegis missile systems aboard the destroyers lock onto the incoming threats. Distances shrink quickly. Speeds exceed Mach 8. Operators track the numbers with quiet concentration. 3 missiles inbound. Every one must be stopped. 0540 hours. The first interceptor launches from the destroyer. A bright white streak rises into the sky. Seconds later another interceptor launches. Then another. The fleet fires defensive missiles in precise sequence. Inside the CIC no one celebrates. No one cheers. They simply watch the radar screens. 0543 hours. The first Iranian missile shatters high above the Gulf as an interceptor collides with it. Burning fragments scatter across the sky. Moments later a second missile explodes as another interceptor strikes its target, but the third continues descending. 0545 hours. The final interceptor launches. One last chance. 2 objects close on each other at extraordinary speed. Then suddenly both radar tracks disappear. A pause fills the room. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. Then the radar operator speaks quietly. Kill confirmed. 0548 hours. The sky above the Persian Gulf returns to calm. Commercial ships continue their routes. Aircraft operations resume aboard the carrier. The fleet survives the attack, but the lesson of the morning remains impossible to ignore. 1 missile destroyed a billion-dollar missile defense system. 3 more nearly reached the fleet itself. Modern warfare is not only about firepower. It is about mathematics. Offensive missiles are cheaper. Defensive systems are expensive, and the side that forces the other to spend more eventually wins the equation. The ocean looks peaceful again, but the math of the war remains.